What's up, Nakamas? Welcome back to the channel. And for today, we're gonna be continuing to play Doffy with very slight updates on the deck list. So my current list has 4 copies of the OP07 4-cost law. And my current list only runs 2 Marshall D Teach. So I've seen people having success with 4 copies of this and 4 copies of Jozu. But for just my own preference, I only run the 4-cost ST17 law as my bounce. If you prefer a more tempo gameplay, then having 4 copies of Jozu is the way to go. And personally, I still don't run any copies of Red Rock or Gravity Blade in this current list. But I do suggest mix and matching your events depending on what's the current meta in your local scene. I just run 3 copies of Perfume Femur. This is solely based on how I usually play, like personal preference on my playstyle. So yeah, without further ado, let's play this list in the simulator. Okay, for our first gameplay, we are against Zoro. So we just had this particular matchup in the Tokyo area championship. So looking at that, last weekend Doffy won, and yes, so we kept this hand because we had a Roronoa. And for this particular matchup, Zoro is also very aggressive. So our approach for this types of deck is we need to clear their board and to prioritize killing their characters first before we go to their life. So, and that's what we want to do here. So I attack for life for this because I know that we have a bounce law. So we just bounce that character first. We could have attacked the 3-cost chopper, but I wanted him to commit to the board, and I can basically defend that play. And now we are prioritizing in saving our characters so that we can start attacking their characters starting this play. Starting this turn. So 7k attack here to clear both their attackers. And now we have 1 done. So again, we had a very bad 5 cards here. But looking at our opponent's hand, they did have a lot of cards. So getting that Roronoa, the pudding, ready in our hand is something that we want to have option of. So Zoro, we can't defend that, so we lost our attacker. But now a pudding will give them a new hand. Hopefully, just hope that it's a worse hand than what they had. So this 3-cost chopper is actually very good because they can have the ability on ETB and on attack. So let's see, we do have a Roronoa here just in case their Nami attacks. We do have a Roronoa to kill the Nami. So up to this point, I opted to choose to save our character. Now their Nami attacks, and attacking us, we definitely took that just to have more cards in our hand, hopefully to use as counters. So let's try to draw here first and get something. So we didn't see any Jin base up to this point, but we just want to attack here. So bouncing this robs so I opted to bounce that because although they can give haste to that, but they need to use 2 more dons. So the lesser resources that they have for pumping their own characters to spend on that character, I opted to do that play. So we save our pudding here. So as expected, they put 2 dons on this to give it haste. So now we save again our pudding and not taking damage here so that we have a good board to try to clear their units here. So very nice event there, putting a blocker chopper. But we did have this law to bounce the blocker from our hand, and then we can just attack here with a difference of 2k for each attack to clear the board, and yeah, we win. Okay, for the next game, I opted to play against Blackbeard because before recording this, I went to my locals and I lost to a Blackbeard, and now wanted to just keep on practicing on this matchup. Although for this game, I played first, which is what we want. And in my tournament, I lost the dice roll. So I'm basically playing second and 1 turn late. So for this matchup, although our opponent dropped an early stage here, so we are at a disadvantage really. But for this matchup, you just want to remove their hand. You want your puddings to reduce their hand and just be aggressive on this matchup before they reach the 10 don. So we did have our Roronoa here. We're in what I want. Although the stage is giving them now a Teach and a Shiryu, so they do have a 10 cost Teach already in their hand, and then they drew a black hole here. Again, take note of what your opponent is getting. That way you will know how many counters they have in their hand, and you can just attack the game using that knowledge. So up to this point, we do know that our opponent has a black hole and a Teach. So 2 out of these 6 cards in their hand don't have a counter. So with that in mind, yeah, you can try to distribute your Dawn, manage your Dawn, and try to attack. So they discarded their black hole here. So at least 1 out of 5 cards in their hand doesn't have a counter, with that being a 10 cost Teach. So opponent didn't attack. They didn't want to give us an extra card in hand. So they took this, and we can just go aggressive here. Try to reduce 2 more cards, then attack for 9k. So yeah, that's the gameplay against Zoro and Blackbeard. 2 decks that I think people will be using in the near future, because those decks had a great success in the recent Tokyo Championship. And I hope this video helped you or gave you an insight on how to approach these decks. And if you found this helpful, please do like the video and comment and subscribe to the channel. It will help the channel a lot. If you're still watching up to this point, then you're not just a nakama, but a super nakama. And thank you very much for the continued support. That's it for today. Have a wonderful day or night, and see you in the next video.